Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. This is Jaw Jackin. I am your host, Jerry Guy. Coming hot off the heels of the daily cyber threat brief with that nerd, Dr. Gerald Ozier. Jaw Jackin's all about good times. I'm super pumped. We're going to be having Thursday, which means we have a guest Jaw Jack host, bringing in my friend, DJ BSec. Hey, BSec, how you doing, buddy?
Man, I swear today was Wednesday. You thought it was Friday. I think today's Wednesday.
Oh my God, what a hot mess. Well, fortunately for you, I guess it's Thursday, closer to the weekend, right?
Yeah. I was sitting here and then just out of nowhere, I was like, oh crap, I've got Jaw Jackin today.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. I genuinely appreciate it. Getting other perspectives, somebody who has all the access like yourself, obviously. Yeah. That's a whole thing. What do you think
I was thinking of like Ghostbusters where he's like, I am a god.
Oh, looks like we got to do the baton pass. Are we currently waiting for someone to accept the baton? Let me know. Need a volunteer? Let me know. Rex with a super chat. Thanks for the super chat.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Mike Schwinger from 627 feet joke of the week. My nihilist friends were trying to come up with nuclear war jokes, but all of them bombed. Oh my God. That's so funny. Hey, we do need before BSec gets into the AMA and answers all your questions, we do need somebody to share their story to take on the Simply Cyber Community Challenge. It's very, very easy. All you have to do is say you'll give it a shot. You're the person today. You'll go on LinkedIn. You'll share your story and just use the hashtag Simply Cyber Community Challenge and tag me. And you'll get a ton of connections and everybody in the community will get to know you. So please, let's get a volunteer.
We've done it 306 times now.
306 times. It's it's epic. It's really, really a testament to what's going on.
And there's 384 people in here, so somebody hasn't done it. So jump on it.
Exactly. So hey, really quick, I do want to share one quick little thing before we get into jaw jacking. Everyone that gets a job that Simply Cyber was played some contributing factor. And I know, everybody's got tons of things going on. It's a real honor. It's a real privilege. And it's one of just the high water marks of the community being able to play that wrecking ball sounder. I hope that when you do get into the industry, I believe honestly and genuinely that Simply Cyber can not only help you get into the industry, but also have a rewarding and, just successful career. We have a lot of community practitioners in here, no doubt, but I have noticed a little bit of a trend that when people get in, it's not a massive trend, but I do notice that when people get in, they kind of like some people kind of just basically get off the train. Like Simply Cyber was a means to an end to get into the industry and get the job. And I just would hope and encourage that, once you do get the job, you do enjoy Simply Cyber from the perspective of a practitioner and leverage the resources and the network and the community to help you have a successful career. Because it's not just about getting the job. We want you to have a successful career as well in the industry.
To piggyback off of exactly what you just said, that is something that comes up daily. When you talk to other people of how do you stay current within the industry. So if you're coming over here and you're getting a job, great, but then you leave and you don't stay current, you hit the peak and now you're on the downside. You don't want to hit a peak. You want to keep climbing a hill. Yeah,
that's definitely one reality of the cybersecurity community. You got to keep pushing. Lifelong learners definitely succeed. All right. I just wanted to get that off my chest. There's a couple, I've noticed, I had one person walk up to me at a conference and say, hey, hashtag Team SC. I'm like, oh, great. You still are you team, do you catch it live or are you on replay? He's like, no, he's like, I don't catch them anymore at all. He's like, I got my job. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. Yikes.
High five to that. Okay.
Yep. So, all right, guys, I leave you in the capable hands of my good friend, BSec. BSec, have fun, man. I'll catch you later. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good one. All right, everybody. Let me turn this up. throw in questions. We'll grab questions, answer anything. Last week was crazy. Last week we had a whole bunch of good questions. I hope I got to all of them. I think I got to all of them last week, and hopefully we can get some good ones again today. I already saw somebody wrote in earlier and asked what's the difference between SSO and federated access. And when it comes to single sign-on, in fact, let me switch this over so we can get everybody's chat up on here. The federated access versus single sign-on. Single sign-on means that you're signing on using one domain, one application. Federated access means that you're enabling single sign-on across a whole bunch of different applications across multiple domains. In this day and age, we kind of use single sign-on and federated access kind of one and the same, because you can use your, like for instance, you could use a Microsoft login or a Google login or a Meta login across a lot of different domains. So that's actually federated, but your single sign-on is actually using that Microsoft to log into all of the other applications, or all the Microsoft applications is what we're talking about when it comes to single sign-on. All right, did we get somebody with the baton? Did we get a baton holder? Let me scroll up here and see if we've got any questions popping in. Is there a discount coupon for the GRC Masterclass? I will have to let Jerry get to you on that one. That I'm not sure of. I don't know if there's a coupon on there. Okay, the baton has been passed and is done. Great. See what else we got going on in here. It's been a short week, but a long week. Like I said, I thought today was only Wednesday. Usually my wife goes to work on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. This week, of course, we didn't go to work on Monday, so she went Wednesday, Thursday. So I was sitting here thinking, oh man, today's Wednesday because she's not here. But Joel Harrison chiming in on what Jerry and I were talking about. I wouldn't and I couldn't leave this community. Thank you, Joel. So that I want to touch on that a little bit more. What I was talking about is I have meetings with external people daily, right, throughout the week, and a lot of them ask, or when you come up and you have when you've got an audit, they ask, how do you keep up to date? And this is one of the things I say. You know, I do this jaw jacking with everybody here, answer your questions, listen to the stories each week, each day. I've got my own feeds that I monitor. So there's ways to keep up with it. And yes, this is a great place if you're not part of the community to come in and be part of the community and then learn as you're here. But it's not necessarily a place where you just want to come, grab some information and dump off, right? The whole point of building a community is to be able to have people that are like myself that does a lot of IT. You've got Jerry who does a lot of security. I do some security. You've got Justin Gold that does stuff. You've got Jesse Johnson that does stuff. You've got Kimberly that does stuff. You got Eric. All the mods do different things. And you're able to reach out to those individuals as a community and say, hey, I need help with this. And they're able to help you out. I want to say it was a couple months ago, Eric was having an issue, or Eric was looking at something, and I jumped on and helped him out do some stuff. So the community is here for everybody. It's not just here to, hey, let's come in and learn how we can get a job and then peel off. We're here to help everybody out consistently, not just to get a job and move on. That's just my 2 cents. Let's see, Rex Cognition. Anyone in a constantly changing field that doesn't... Okay, let me put this up here and let's read it out loud. Anyone in a constantly changing field that doesn't continually learn and keep up to date, or is ignoring professional responsibilities and probably won't last just because of the lack of initiative. 100%, especially in this field. In this field, you've got to have initiative. You've got to be able to do stuff outside of work hours. You have to love what you're doing. You have to be able to go look up the new stuff and understand what's coming down the pipeline. You can't this is a field that you don't stop learning. Somebody said something about an Ubuntu question. Like Carrie, but let's see. I'm scrolling, trying to find it, and if I can't find it, then I'll just read it because I think somebody threw it into. Oh, here we go. All right, I put Ubuntu Linux on my 2 computers, and now I see that there are some computer networking tools. I see that there's one TCP dump. Just wondering if Ubuntu is good at cyber with tools. Ubuntu is just Linux, so it doesn't matter what flavor you put on, whether it's Ubuntu, Red Hat, geez, there's so many different ones. You can put Kali on there, which is a Debian. TCP dump can be run on Windows, it can be run on Ubuntu, it can be run on anything. Most all networking tools can run cross-platform. And if the tool itself can't run cross-platform, then there's a tool on the other platform that can do the same thing. When you say, is it good at cyber with tools? I mean, it just depends on what you're trying to do. It sounds like you're trying to do networking stuff or learn the networking stuff. TCP dump is a great way to do it. There's a website, gosh, I can't remember what it is, that has a whole bunch of different packets that you can pull up into Wireshark. Wireshark and TCP dump, same thing. I mean, we actually had issues a couple of weeks ago that we were sitting over here hammering out Wireshark, trying to understand why something was running so slow. So when it comes to network tools, TCP dump, which is just basically what TCP dump is doing, is just gathering a massive dump or a massive file of all of the network traffic, and then when you dump it out, then you can basically take that and put it into Wireshark to view it. Marcus Seiler, yes, I answered that. If you're still around, I basically said that SSO and FID, or Federated Access, FIA, they're being used together in one and the same when you think about it. But what SSO is saying that you have the single sign-on to it using a specific domain, specific tenant, and Federated means you're using it across a whole bunch of different domains is what it is. All right, I see the questions coming in. I'm trying to pop through because I want to put them up on so I can make sure that we actually see it on the screen. Whoops, there we go. Take that one off. Put it on the screen. That way, let's see. Space Tacos, what do we got here? What is a good resource to learn the Active Directory? We'll be adding that to my agenda after my Python course. To me, that's kind of a loaded question right now. Active Directory, although it's still used in a lot of places, a lot of things are being moved from Active Directory on-prem to Azure Active Directory to move it off-prem. You get so many more. You get so many more features with the off-prem, with the cloud-based Active Directory than you do with on-prem. There, you can go onto Microsoft. Microsoft themselves have a great learning platform. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Switch over here. I believe it's Microsoft Learn. Yeah, learn.microsoft.com. They've got a whole bunch of different things in here. Let me throw this in. So you can go through. They've got Active Directory on there. They've got Azure Active Directory. There is a ton of different things, and they create courses on here for you to go through. And at the end of it, you get points or tokens or something along those lines. So If I was looking for something, that's what I would be looking for. Let's see, I got something from the Rich. Does anyone have any good threat intelligence? Cybertron. There are tons of good threat intelligence feeds. Let me pull this up. And I'll show you mine. I know everybody's gonna start throwing stones at me because I have not done anything over this, but let me pull this up real quick. Oh, great. Hold on. Before I dox myself here. Sign in. All right, here we go. So we've got a whole bunch of different feeds on here. Man, I'm like out of screen here. I need to fix my camera when I move to this. So on the side, you can see all the different feeds that I have. I've got stuff from the Hunter's blog. We got malware bytes unpacked. The registry, this little RSS feed that I use is called InnoReader. Through here, we've got tech news. So we got Schneider on security. We've got Wired, Tech Radar. This is all the US search stuff. So we got the alerts. These are all coming from RSS feeds. They're not necessarily coming from YouTube or not YouTube, but X. But you got dark reading, CISO online. I'll kind of leave these up for a second. Everybody can grab them and look at them. You can write them down if you want to. Let's see what else do we have here. So I got that. So that's what we're on right now. Does anybody have any good threat intelligence feeds? These are the threat intelligence feeds. You can grab those since they're up. Everybody can come back and grab those. Let's see what else do we have going on in chat. Anybody? We've got the Rich 64, Marcus Seiler. Yeah. So there you go. James Randolph saying the same thing to Marcus Seiler. SSO is a single domain. Federated has multiple domains across. We got through that. Let's see what we've got from the Rich. I am currently in transition from a sales/insurance retail, currently working Geek Squad to keep up my basic tech side, but I'm struggling to get any opportunities. Right now, from what I understand, the market is extremely slow. What I would say is if you're not finding opportunities by finding jobs in that sense, what I would do is look for local stuff. I think people around here have talked about, local churches. Do they have needs like technology needs? There are companies, small companies have technology needs. You can go through and tell them, hey, you're working with technology, you're moving into the cyber field. Maybe you can give them a little quick audit and say, hey, what do you got going on here? And people do get a little squeamish when you want to know what's going on with their networks and other things. So they may want you to sign something, but I would start there and build up a resume that way. You can also put stuff that you've done, labs you've done out on GitHub, so you actually have an online resume per se. Got more. Can I use the MS points for Lowe's gift cards? Eric Taylor. I'll look into that. I'm not sure if you can use the MS points for Lowe's gift cards, but you might be able to use them for points to buy brisket. That would be cool. So Eric's bringing up something in mod chat about a possible IOC feed. So we'll see if something like that happens. Maybe we can work together and figure out how we can set up a good feed. A lot of the feeds that we've got set up is what we actually used and what Jerry used when we did the AI stuff, right? So when he did the AI stuff, a lot of those feeds those feeds are what we use to pull the stories, and realize that a lot of those feeds, so if you're looking at Palo Alto's Unit 42, you're looking at dark reading, and say you're looking at naked security, 9 times out of 10, all 3 of those are going to have the same story. It's just how they're written up. So your feed does get a little bit jarbled with the same stuff over and over and over, but it's good because if it's in that feed, then you at least know what's going on. When I capture traffic, let's see if I can find Karate Joe's stuff. Something about capturing traffic. When I capture traffic with Snort and Wireshark, it all comes out encrypted. Is there another step? Okay, so if you're capturing traffic and it's all encrypted, that's because the traffic that you're capturing is probably HTTPS traffic, which is encrypted. So the only way to not encrypt that or have that unencrypted is to have something in between, like a firewall. And I'm sure, I think Cisco does this. I know Palo Alto does this, but you have the ability with the firewall in between to, what it does is it unencrypts the packets that are coming in off of HTTPS. It will unencrypt them, open it up, read it, make sure that everything within that packet is good, that it's not malicious, and then repackage it up and send it over to the user, or vice versa. So you'd have to have something in the middle to decrypt that those packets. If not, then you're not going to have anything. That's when you're looking at Wireshark and you're looking at TCP dump and you're looking at that stuff, you're not necessarily looking to break into the packets. You're wanting to see what's happening on the network, right? So you're wanting to know, usually it's something specific, like you're looking at a specific server and trying to realize or trying to figure out what it's doing. Is this server, is there so much traffic on this server, or what's the traffic doing? Is that what's slowing it down? Is it the processor that's slowing that down? And it's not the traffic. You're usually using Wireshark or TCP dump for one specific issue. You're not just grabbing all of the network traffic and looking through it. You're usually filtering through to find out what's going on. Does NIST have anything on KRI prioritization? Hey, what is KRI prioritization? Is that key results? Anybody have anything for me? KRI? Key risk, and I'm thinking of something completely different. Key risk indicators. I'm not sure if NIST has stuff on. NIST is more of a framework for GRC. I don't think they're going to have KRI results. That's going to be more along the lines of like MITRE would have key hey, my mouse is messed up. Key risk indicators would be something along the lines of MITRE, if there's going to be anything like that. All right, man, we're at 8:24. I want to remind everybody today at 4:30. Did I not put this in here? Did not put it in here. I was going to read something from last week. Fireside chat. So I want to remind everybody today that at 4:30, Jerry has his fireside chat with Wade Wells. Everybody, if you're not busy, jump in there. Should be a great little chat. And then we also have Jesse Johnson tonight. I believe at it's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Slay Security Plus. I believe he is jumping the train tracks. He's jumping over the big hole in the floor and moving over to Domain 5 GRC. I think he's been on Domain 3 for a while, so I think he's skipping 4 and going to 5 for now, and probably coming back later. Oh, I see everybody typing or talking about brisket. I think Eric Taylor was talking about making brisket, so we can all meet at Eric's house and have some brisket. Friday party. Man, last week was full of questions. This week we've only got a few, which is fine. Gives me a little bit of break. Like, whoo, I've been so caught up with work. I don't think I've had this past weekend was like my first weekend off. I've literally been doing something having to do with work every single weekend for probably the past month and a half. Yes, Pamela, road trip to Eric's house. Let's roll. Oh, baseball tournaments. We got traveling baseball. Man, I could talk about baseball for a long time. We did all the baseball stuff, all the traveling and all the travel ball. Thank God my kid's old enough and he's not doing that anymore. Now it's high school sports. We don't have to coach. We can let the high school coaches do everything. All right, we are coming up to it. 8:30. It looks like we've hit all of the questions. We don't have much more coming through, so I'm going to call it for today. We will see everybody back here tomorrow morning at Maxwell Workers. We got one. What's the difference between a security architect versus a security engineer? So as a security architect, you're the one that's actually architecting everything. You're building it all out. You're putting together the scheme of how what SIM you're going to be using, what EDR you're going to be using. You're putting all of that together on the back end. The security engineer is going to be the one that's actually running all this stuff, right? They're going to be the ones updating the ED, making sure the EDR is up to date, make sure the SIM's running correctly. Usually they're checking logs and doing all kinds of that. The engineer in themselves is the one that's kind of built it all out. The architect and is the one that creates that plan. So think of it like building a house, right? Before you can build a house, you actually have to know how the house is built. So therefore, the architect in themselves creates the home. They create the blueprint, how it's going to be built, what's going to go into it. The engineer then comes in behind them and puts it all together, right? Builds it out. They're the hammer and nails. They smash it all together. They put everything in and put it in place. That's kind of the difference between the two. The architect's going to keep moving on. Hey, how are we going to make it better? What are we going to do? The engineer's the workhorse behind it. Oh, 16U on a travel team. Man. Well, if he's on 16U, then let him drive. And then you can just, family, you can just watch it over the internet. I know as parents, we don't do that. We have to be there, right? All right, we are at 8:30. I do have a meeting that I've got to get ready for. I hope to see everybody tomorrow morning at 7 p.m. Wait, no, it's 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. my time. Or not 7 p.m. I'm looking at 7 p.m. here. All right, let's get this read right. 7 a.m. Central time, 8 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow for the Daily Cyber Brief. Don't forget today, 4:30 Eastern, Jerry has Fireside Chat with Wade Wells. And then tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time, Slay Security Plus with Jesse J. He is going to be going over Domain 5. That being said, for everybody, I am DJ BSEC, and it's been great hanging out with everybody this morning. But for now, everybody, stay secure.
I hope you enjoyed the Jaw Jackin. Be sure to check out the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Briefing happening every single weekday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., where you can get the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, network with other professionals, and then stay for the Jaw Jackin just like you saw. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. See you in the next one.